The following is the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable John Briceño's weekly address.
Last week, Belize lost two very good men who would not be comfortable with being called heroes because they were men who, like the patron saint of SJC, St. John's Birchman, believed in and lived by the motto, doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. William Francis Fonseca, known by his family and friends as Chichi Fonseca, and Stuart Simmons Sr. were men who dedicated their lives to serving others, and more so, Belize. The remembrances at the funerals of Mr. Fonseca and Mr. Simmons reminded us of the men they were and the work they did. I wish to take a moment to honor their memory once more and thank their families for sharing them with us. A lot changed for the better in Belize during their lifetime because these men played their part in shaping our nation. Theirs was the generation of Belizean nationalists who were a part of our struggle for self-determination, and in their quiet yet significant ways, William Fonseca and Stuart Simmons were engaged in this work as young Belizean educators. These two teachers cradled Belize's future in their arms, helping to educate and inspire the next generation of Belizean leaders. In the 70s, after spending years in the classroom teaching at the primary school level, and after his studies abroad, William Fonseca became Chief Education Officer. And because of his love for rural Belize, he worked hard and pushed for the opening of schools in Toledo as well as in our rural communities. After his retirement from the public service, and although clinically blind, he did not stop. He became involved in the work of Belizeans with disabilities and was instrumental in the formation of the Council for the Visually Impaired. Over the years, he became a writer and a poet and was a true family man. Anyone who attended St. John's College in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s would tell you that one of the best educators in Belize was Stuart Simmons Sr. A teacher of Spanish, Mr. Simmons taught thousands of Belizean young men and women at SJC and SJC Sixth Form. He was famous for telling his A-level Spanish students that no student of his ever failed the Spanish A-level exam, and until his retirement, that perfect record was maintained. 44 years as a teacher, disciplinarian, and headmaster earned Mr. Simmons the love and respect of everyone at St. John's, and not only students and teachers, but especially the Jesuits, who said of him that he was the embodiment of Jesuit education. Mr. Simmons was the father of 4 sons who knew that they were sharing their dad with the hundreds of boys who were Mr. Simmons' students and de facto sons at SJC. The work of nation building is continuous. While the problem we face today may in some ways be different from those of the last generation, we have to face them in the same way Chichi Fonseca and Mr. Simmons did, with confidence and without fear. In their confidence, they gave unselfishly without ever seeking reward, never being afraid to show their love for others or for this nation, and more so for their God. Both of these men were deeply spiritual men, and both through example inspired a generation. If all of us tried to live as they did and strive to work in the selfless way that they did, then indeed we will create a Belize that works for everyone. Thank you, God bless, and have a good week.